Welcome back everyone to another video. We have quite a bit of news to get through, from breakdowns over Call of Duty to the information coming out of Sony. Now this video I'm recording quite early. We did get our internet sorted today, so I'm going to be testing this. And also over at Twitch, I'm going to be doing a short, maybe 30-40 minute stream today to see how it actually works, how it goes. We're going to be testing, YouTube video streaming and stuff like that, just to make sure that the actual internet can hold up. And if it does, hopefully tonight we can actually stream the PlayStation Showcase. That will be over at YouTube, of course. Now, let's get on with the actual video, because there's a lot to get through, because the copium, my friends, is real. And well, if you do enjoy this content, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release, because it's a doozy. So Tripster over here, who pretty much is almost as bad, if not as bad, as Oliver Dark, says Helldivers sold 12 million units. Sony says 73% of those sales were on PS5 alone. It really bothers them that the PC market was the one that actually could carry this game. It really does. The fact that they have to go into their delusional gymnastics to try and make it so that they think that PlayStation 5 contributed 73% is delusional. It's crazy. But let's spare a moment for this dude, because he actually believes this old slide is real and actually believes that this is factual information, when we all know that PC carried Helldivers through and through. But someone else that needs a moment of our silence is good old Tim Dog, who openly said that that's according to longtime Microsoft leaker Tim Dog, who said he heard that Call of Duty won't be coming to Game Pass. And as we know, that's already been debunked. And you can see Gads here saying, breaking, Tim Dog reported missing after spreading Xbox fake news following his public divorce from Microsoft. And it was an epic breakup, let's not be mistaken. But this was the first thing I saw when he decided to come out of hiding. Okay, when you take L for 4 games, no CoD games on the service, 7 months. I mean, the deflection here is surreal. It is surreal. He clearly knows why those 4 games went over there. He watched the FTC trial, so he knows. So this is already a thing. But he just cannot accept the fact that it's going to happen. And he says there will be a price increase. There will not be a price increase. It doesn't make any sense. And if they do, the FTC will be after them, because they said for 2 years there is no price increase. The case closed as of October 2023. So October 2025 is really the next available price increase point. Unless, and they said that Activision, they will not be using ABK games or Call of Duty to inflate price. So that is something that they said in the course. So even if they add a new tier to provide better service for certain things, Call of Duty can't be used in that. So we're going to see how that actually works out, because it's going to be interesting. And as I say here, this is pretty much Microsoft, and that would be Tim Dog right there. So the salt is real, but the salt continues. Do you remember the time when he turned around and said that, sales don't matter? Now it does, apparently. Now that he's on the blue side, sales do matter. Salesman still talking about consoles. I mean, considering how much he says that he doesn't care about Xbox anymore, dude, you just need to move on. But anyway, the salt continues, because we've got Jay here. I'm hoping this is the big loss of revenue that kills the service, as it's not good for gaming. And I said, so salty, they are all butthurt, they need to pay 70, maybe Microsoft should make it 80. And someone actually reminded me how PlayStation fans constantly said that they are happy to pay $100 for their games per game. So maybe Microsoft should start that trend with Call of Duty and just say, hey, right, this is a big game, high revenue, high investment, $100 for you PlayStation folks, but if you want it on Game Pass, you can come over and pay a subscription fee. Let's see which one is going to win out quicker. I wonder how many of them are actually still going to cough up. Pretty much most of them, if not all of them. But the salt continues. Warhammer Dave, who's now officially, in my eyes, a PlayStation fan, make sure to let all those Xbox podcasts know PlayStation games will not be coming to Xbox. even through Steam and Epic stores, as Sony has it written in contracts. He hasn't even seen a single contract, but my dude thinks he's like Tim Dog inside those boardrooms. With both Steam and Epic, they are barred from hosting PlayStation games on Xbox natively and via cloud. Natively, yes, but there's always ways around it. And this dude over here, this hip-hop guy, you know, he basically says that Nintendo is going multi-platform, Xbox is going multi-platform, PlayStation is going multi-platform, everyone is going multi-platform in 2026. If you want to believe that, good luck to you. I've also got something over here that, you know, an air guitar that you might want to buy, and it might be, you know, you might not see it when it arrives with you, but it's going to be the best £100 you've ever spent. Just, you know, send me a PayPal of $100 and I will get that shipped out to you as soon as possible. So there's that new game from 100 Star that's, you know, exclusively, you know, Microsoft bought exclusive rights for that game to be on Xbox. It wasn't a timed exclusive. No, nothing mentioned of time was there. So as of right now, the only information we have is that apparently a deal has been signed to make it exclusive to the Microsoft ecosystem. Now, Tim Dog here assumes that it will be multi-platform like Blade will, and I don't think he understands what it means when it's not a timed exclusive. I mean, the copium here is surreal. Maybe he's having second thoughts going to PlayStation and having spent all that money. Who knows? But with all that salt going around, let's cut to the chase and get to the actual video. Unfortunately, my internet did cut out, so I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to stream tonight. But let's see what happens here. So earlier this morning, early hours of the hour here in the UK, PlayStation CEOs gave a presentation, and this was the takeaways that was made, and Shinobi has quite perfectly listed them out. PlayStation sees PC releases as opportunities for growth, not cannibalization. So what they're saying, what he's trying to say here is that by putting games day and date on PC that's not live service is essentially cannibalizing your sales both in hardware and software. I'm not sure about that. Well, maybe if not software, definitely on the hardware side. And we have seen something of that kind going to Xbox, right? Although there are multiple reasons why Xbox's hardware hasn't sold very well. Extend the reach and profit of franchises through multi-platform deliverability, which is what they're doing. Looking at outsourcing more development to offset mitigate growing costs. And this is in particularly the West Coast that they mentioned, so I'm not sure why that was omitted, but it's to mitigate growing costs in the West as opposed to the East. So prices of them working in the West are starting to mount up, and they're trying to mitigate that more and more. Live service titles will be day and date on PC, but more strategic in tentpole single player titles. So the plan here, from what I understand, is this one over here, that you play the single player game that's come out like say 2 years later, and then if you want to play the sequel day and date, you will go and pay $500 and buy a PlayStation, and then pay another $70 and get the game. And as Paul Tassi says here, have you enjoyed playing this game on PC? How would you like to play the next one by spending $500 on a piece of hardware that's worse than what you just played it on? And it's not just $500, obviously you need to buy the game as well, so that's another $70, $80 there, so kind of crazy. Taking more measured approach to growing in mobile, which basically means they're cutting back on mobile, that's no longer going to be their focus, as opposed to PC. They still want PC to be a focus for them. Working with companies like NCSoft to expand further in mobile. So they are looking to expand in mobile, but it's no longer like a big priority for them. Now, Daniel Ahmed has some slides here which I think are quite important that actually list out quite a few things, and it's worth going through. I think you can see here the monthly active users is now equal to that of the PS4 with PS5, and that is in, I guess, half the duration. But it's interesting here in terms of gameplay hours, PS5 has eclipsed the PS4. Now if we go over here, we can see that in terms of full content game, nothing's really changed for them, but the content add-on, the microtransactions, has taken a rise. Also, the PlayStation Plus services has increased as well over the fiscal year 16 to 23, but you can see that more people are spending more money on microtransactions, and that is something that is obviously going to encourage more microtransactions going forward. We have this slide over here. The life to date spend PS4 versus PS5. You can clearly see that the PS5 already is more successful in terms of people spending than it is on the PS4, and the PS4 has had a much longer life cycle. But you can see here the full content has decreased by 12%, but the content add-on, the microtransactions for games like Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, people spending all that money on V-Bucks and Genshin Impact, gacha, I mean especially the gacha, that must have factored into this a lot. And as you can see here, it's dwarfed what it was before, and it's impressive to see. But driving profitable subscriber growth, you can see here Essentials is down with the base. Essentials has gone down a little bit over the year by 3%, but 35% subscribe to PlayStation Plus Premium or Extra. Premium has increased a little bit as well by 2%, but the majority is still on Essential. Not many are still using their premium service. So that is where Sony really wants people to be, or this one. But the huge chunk of their audience is still using the Essentials, which honestly is still the best value for PS Plus. Extras is probably, in my opinion, the highest you should go. The premium just doesn't give you enough value, in my opinion, to make it worthwhile. But anyway, the biggest takeaway from this all is that PlayStation fans are now up in arms, absolutely distraught and up in arms at the prospect of having to pay for Call of Duty, with people turning around and saying, to what extent does this not make some consumers second-class consumers? Namely, PlayStation consumers like me. Everyone is free, but not with me. If Microsoft wants it that way, they can support this themselves and not with my $70. Geometric Crusher, you are going to buy the game, whether you like it or not. If this is a game that you play yearly, I guarantee you, you're going to give that $70. It's going to go over to Microsoft, or not all that $70, but you're going to be funding Microsoft, and you're going to be buying the Battle Pass, you're going to be buying the skins, you're going to be buying the tools, you're going to be buying everything, and you will be supporting Microsoft that way. Whether you like it or not, that is it. Microsoft's strategy has been, if you want it on Game Pass, come over to Game Pass. It's that simple. But people's reactions have gone absolutely mental. But it's clear that Sony right now, at least in their current mind frame, I mean, I do expect them, I was expecting at least next year with either Venom or something to go day and date. But where they say here, be more strategic with their single-player tentpole titles. And I did read somewhere, I didn't get the actual tweet, but what they were, I think it was with, who was it? Not this one, here. But single-player narrative games on PC are designed to then entice PC owners to play sequels over on PlayStation. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to use the Microsoft strategy, which in my opinion hasn't worked. But they're trying to say that we're going to give you the first game, play it, and if you want to play the sequel like Ghost of Tsushima 2, you're going to pay $570 and come over. It hasn't worked on Microsoft. I don't think it's going to work here, but it'll be interesting to see if it does. But anyway, folks, that's the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I will see you in the next one. As always,